Alright, we got Sam Elliker. We're gonna do a review of the World of the 3 because he just beat it.
Yeah,
a couple days ago.
This game's pretty sweet. So let's start with talk about the setup here. You got this, your typical DS setup here with your dual screen game where you use both the top and the bottom for your stylus action. You have the top, which has the your maps, your layouts, your character information, and the bottom for styluses for your gameplay and your battle system. So start off with the premise. The premise is that you have your typical angsty loner dude who just does not really like the world. Suddenly ends up in a world he is unfamiliar with, where he hates people and he has to fight for survival against the fabled noise. In a place called the Reaper's Game, he has to fight for survival and possibly the survival of others. Now, the battle system in here is used with the stylus with a two-screen battle system. You have the you have the battle system on the top and you have the battle system on the bottom. The top one is for your partner, not the main character controlling, whose name is Neku, by the way, what you do. And with this, you have no freedom of control over their movement, but you input combination attacks in order to make a more powerful maneuver with your bottom character. To give you an idea of what the screen looks like here, you have your stylus in your games moving here with the stylus, and then you have the name of the place and the map pin. You have your menu layout once again, your maps, and your screens, chapters, tin pins, cool stuff, noise report. So, let's get down to the system.
What?
Let's get down to the battle system, for real.
Okay.
You use what's called pins here, and depending on the pin, you have a certain input. You may end up scratching an enemy, touching empty spaces on the ground, slashing at them. You also use the stylus to maneuver. Now, because of these very finite controls, however, there are some issues with inputting commands. There may be times when you want to go for a thrust, so you tap the enemy, but because of your tap, you may go in for a slash instead of a thrust. Now, due to this, attacking and moving has a lot of balance issues. Now, at the same time, due to the battle system, because you're fighting on two screens at once, you also have to be able to dodge on two screens at once, and just using a stylus and using the directional pad at the same time can be a little difficult for some people. Now, Ben, you have any questions for this game so far?
No, I'm good. I just, what are your overall thoughts? And then we can wrap this up.
It's a blend of your contemporary, swaggy, kind of, what's going to be popular trend kind of game. With a combination of, I'd say, very well developed characters from Neku Sakurabu's developments from a whiny teen into a very fun-loving character who starts to care about the people around him. A battle system that's pretty intense that if you just look at it on paper, it really doesn't look like it would work, but it ends up working. A story that's pretty well driven about the boys' fight for survival. And overall, a game from Tetsuya Nomura for Kingdom Hearts fame. It's overall a really good game. It takes a lot to be able to turn out a good Japanese JRPG and have it be really successful. I mean, this game was top on the charts, I believe, for a couple of weeks, first place and second place. And it's an amazing acclaim. And here we have it in the US, and it kicks ass. It's been 4 years since the game came out, and it's great.
Nice. Out of 10, what would you give it? And then the main points of what's good and then what's bad, and then we'll be good.
I would give it 8 out of 10. I'd say it's definitely a far superior game than most, maybe an 8.5. However, the issues with the stylus and the command input has a lot to improve upon. It can lead to very frustrating moves, especially when you have an enemy who's ridiculously more powerful than you, and you're the type of player who's skilled. And it's like, I'm not going to go down like a bitch. You go down like a bitch because the controls aren't so good. What was the other point you had?
Just like, what was good, what was bad, and then that's
good story, characters. It is a very solid character development, and for people of 15 and up, even to the young age of 20 to 22, it'll very well resonate with you as a character, and it's your own developmental cycle with people around you. Like I said, what was bad is the controls. It seems like a mishmash of things that don't work, and fighting on two screens could be better, has a lot to improve upon, but other than that, it was a very solid game.
Anything else you want to say?
Just makes the all feel like
rock on, Tetsuya Nomura.
Alright, thanks a lot, Sam.
No problem.